Yo, this is Johnny Talks, back at it again with another podcast episode 3 of season 1, and today I got Mr. Alex Rincon, aka Mr. 240 Bench, who loves to exercise and is here to talk about why everyone should strive to be fit. So Alex, I'm going to let you take the show here.
Yeah, well, I love to exercise. Honestly, exercise has been a thing that I've done, I'd say I got into it really hard quarantine year. I've always loved to be in the weight room, especially with football and things like that. But it really took off that year, and I went from an overweight kid to a kid who became a lot stronger and a kid who looks a lot better now. I'm fit, and there are certain benefits that come with that, and I'm here to talk about those benefits that come physically and mentally with fitness.
Yeah, I myself, I can definitely vouch for Alex here. I've known Alex since freshman year. We became friends around, I would say, the end or right as we got into quarantine. I kind of did the same thing as him, but not really didn't really see the progress that I wanted to see up until this year 3. I've mentioned that multiple times on the podcast. But Alex, his transformation is really incredible, and I don't think a lot of people have recognized that, how much work he puts in the gym and stuff. So Alex, tell us why should we strive to be physically fit? Because you and me both know it, but if you're telling this to someone who wants to get in the gym but is really unmotivated and is really overweight or just out of shape, why should we strive to be fit?
Well, I'll tell you this, the example you said right there was somebody who's overweight, right? Not fit, not in the best motivation. And science has proven that those people are going to develop diseases, right? Those people are going to get things like diabetes, high blood pressure. It's really going to mess them up in the future, especially if you continue on this path. And another part of it is the mental part of it. Sometimes people, because of their physical shape, might develop depression. They might develop something like that. That's not to say, right, you have to be the most jacked guy in the world, right? That's not what I'm trying to say here. But what I am trying to say is that looking good, right, being healthy, right, it doesn't necessarily correlate to looking good, but it does kind of help. It helps your self-esteem, right? And once you start getting that little bit of motivation, it can really take off.
Yeah.
And you can really start to see massive progress, and as soon as you feel more motivated, you start feeling more fit, there are more things you can do, right? So, for example, for me, one of the benefits was fitness just kind of took over my life, right? So as soon as I started getting fit, right, I started having more motivation for other things, right? At school, you remember me freshman year,
of course,
I had 1 C, couple B's, right?
Yeah.
1 A, right? But I was always a smart kid, right? I always say I was a smart kid, but when I started getting fit, I started having more motivation. I could look at myself, my self-esteem went up, right? Yeah. I could actually do things that I wanted to do, right? I started benching more, strength gains, right? I started becoming a better athlete, and then I felt more motivated to do well in school. I felt like, okay, I'm a smart kid, let me take advantage of this, right? Let me actually put in the work, let me start working hard, and you see where the results are now. I've been 2 years all A's.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Like I said, transformation has been incredible. It's definitely a motivating factor, especially with me being friends with Alex and having that extra drive and seeing him making the progress, especially, and it's just not physical fitness too, like you said, it's other things grades wise. You were sitting at A's and B, you were an A and B, couple C student, you know what I mean? And now you're straight A. You're pretty much, you can probably go to any college you want. I'm gonna say that because you're gonna be very successful in what you do. And he's much more motivated than when I first met him, and I think that's definitely correlated into my mindset. Is when I started, he was there a lot. We were talking a lot, so definitely just talking about the gym and shit. I cuss. I didn't mean to cut. I know we had a pact.
Well, you're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah, I'll cut
just
it out.
Just yourself, yeah. And then cut this part out, which we're talking about. Okay.
Okay, but anyways, when we were in the gym and stuff, we were just over quarantine. We couldn't work out together, but just constantly talking about it and stuff just kept me motivated and kept me moving and kept me on my grind. And for me, I would say it'd be the opposite. Like, I've always been the skinny, tall kid, and I still am. I mean, I'm not gonna lie here, but I've definitely seen like more bulk, especially recently, than being just this skinny kid. And I mean, a lot of people don't realize, but like, there's people who do definitely get like bullied and teased about like being super, super skinny, and that's where I was freshman year, and that's kind of another motivating factor, was just like, I'm sick of being skinny. I want to actually get fit. I know I can be healthy. I know I can do this shit. And I'd say another big thing was your self-discipline. When we were talking about sophomore year over the summer, he had a lot of things that he was very self-disciplined in, and I kind of took that and I used it for myself. So whenever there's like a temptation to do something that I know isn't good for me, I definitely like I have you in my mind, that you have this self-discipline. It's incredible self-discipline, and I just kind of follow that, and I just don't go back into those temptations. And for me, it was like, okay, if you do it, that's fine. Just don't do it again. Just keep doing. If you keep doing it, do it. Just keep saying to yourself, keep like telling yourself, you gotta stop. You gotta stop doing this, whatever it is. So I definitely appreciate you. But like, if my other question was, if there's someone who doesn't know where to start, and is just someone in a really bad spot, or like in a spot like me or you, where it was like, because for me it was, I didn't know what to do when I said I wanted to start working out. I didn't know there was so much more to it. So how do you like advise a person, or how do you give a person help when they're looking to better their lives? Because it definitely worked for me, but like, how would you get to another person doing that?
So there's many angles you could take from this, right? Sometimes, honestly, the start has to be you. You yourself have to feel motivated by certain things. And with fitness, one of the things that you could start doing is just, frankly, looking at the activities you like to do. Mm-hmm. For many people, that might be a certain sport, right? It might be, I don't know, maybe something like jogging, right? Things like that. But you have to first find what you truly enjoy, right? It can even be something maybe as simple as cooking, right? Yeah. Maybe, okay, you say, okay, I'm a good cook. I'm going to start cooking healthy, good food. Mm-hmm. And, along the way, you're going to say, okay, and diet also has a big thing in exercise, right? Mm-hmm. Like, fitness doesn't mean just, like, exercise and stuff. Diet is a big thing. If you start eating good foods, right? Yeah. One thing I've started doing recently was whole foods, right? Yeah. That has been fantastic. Like, yeah. I don't know if you know this, but I only go to the weight room 3 times a week. I only lift 3 times a week. I didn't actually know that. I only lift 3 times a week, right? I'm seeing my gains, right? I'm seeing myself go up, but I'm at a point where I'm like kind of stabilizing, right? I'm like, okay, I'm having a balance here in my life, right? I'm still making gains progressively, but it's not like I have to spend 10 hours a week on the gym grind. I'm not a power lifter. I'm not a bodybuilder. That's not what I do, right? Since that's not what I do, I just want a balance, right? I still want to continue. I still want to get strength, but you have to have a certain balance in your life. And, with Whole Foods, that has really helped, because now I'm able to take some time and eat. And by eating good, healthy foods, I'm able to, enjoy cooking those foods. Because I do cook my own foods most of the time. Of course, my mom helps sometimes. Yeah. I love cooking meats and stuff like that, so that's another thing. Cooking that good, healthy food has helped me maintain my body, right? I'm able to have more energy throughout the day. Yeah. Right? I'm able to, just not feel like I have to work out, because there are some people out there who might have an eating disorder, right? They eat a bunch of junk, or just people that simply, eat a bunch of junk anyways, and they're like, I have to overcompensate this by working out, right? But if you can just take a balance of it and have a good, healthy diet, you're going to find that you don't have to work out as much to, find a balance within yourself. You're like, okay, I don't have to overcompensate. I don't have to excessive exercise. Another thing I did want to talk about was the extremes, right? Like you were saying, many people come from being skinny to being fat. We also have to understand that there is excessive exercise, right? Like there's many times people get carried away, right? Like we see with anorexia, right? and binge eating as well. Right?
Yeah.
But specifically for anorexia, it has to deal with excessive eating. You're trying to overcompensate that stuff.
Yeah.
Also with another condition called bulimia, right?
That's,
It's where you binge eat and then you overcompensate for things. With those, there are definitely extremes. Even if you don't have those disorders, you can definitely fall into the temptation of obsessing over exercise. You can be like, okay, I want to be the healthiest guy out there. I have to spend many hours doing all this stuff. And, that's simply not true. Sometimes it can hurt more because you might be more prone to injuries. Like, let's say you're an athlete and you're overdoing stuff. You might hurt yourself more. If you're not an athlete and you're just doing this to, get healthy, you might start slimming down a little bit too much. A common misconception is that the lower your body fat, the healthier you are. That's not really true. Once you get to a certain point, I would say like around 10 to 15% is where people should aim to be. Obviously, if you're older, it should increase. Mm-hmm. But 10 to 15% for guys around their peak, like 20, 30, even us a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm 17. You're 17.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we should be aiming for. But the leaner you get from that, and you see powerlifters, there are definitely some people who talk about how their leanness has definitely affected them, right? Like, yeah. I've always said this, like, bodybuilders should not be role models to people because bodybuilders are not the healthiest people out there. And this is like from hearing other bodybuilders talk, right? You can find this stuff on YouTube, you can research your own stuff, but bodybuilders are not very healthy. Like, vast majority of them take PEDs, right? That's
right? What I was gonna say.
That's one thing that's not very healthy, right? It's not healthy at all. It's gonna impact you in the future. You might look great, but are you the healthiest? No, your blood pressure is shooting up to the roof.
Exactly.
Right? You're more prone to diseases, right? And also, being that massive of a size without a ton of body fat is also going to have some effects on yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Being so lean and all that things, you're going to need to consume more calories. And by consuming your calories, you're going to jack up your blood pressure. Your heart's going to hurt by pumping out so much blood. Mm-hmm. And those are just some of the side effects from looking that good. But like I said, it is a profession. Some people like doing it. If that's your cup of tea, you can do it. But you definitely have to, like... If you're going to be that excessive with it, if you're going to be taking in that much calories, if you're going to be that big and lean, you are going to have physician help, right? You're going to be able to monitor those specific things about your body, right? You got to monitor your heart, got to monitor all those things, which are going to be crucial to keeping you in shape. Okay? Yeah. So that's one of the things in bodybuilding. Those people are going to need the help from those physicians. They're going to need to monitor all their status and, they're really going to need that help because it's not healthy what they're doing to their body. It's not natural what they're doing to their body.
Yeah, and I would say, like, the whole thing about idolizing bodybuilders is definitely true because a lot of these kids who are first in the gym, especially me, this has definitely happened to me. A lot of these kids who are in the gym, they see these crazy jacked dudes and they want to be exactly like them. They want to be at that zone. And they don't realize the dangers that come with I would say that's not really bodybuilding isn't really a natural way of, looking fit and getting fit. And a lot of people take it to this extreme that they constantly have to work out, no rest, eat as, I eat like 3,500 calories a day, but I'm tracking it. They don't have to track their calories. They just eat insane amounts, like you said.
The dirty bulk.
Yeah, the dirty bulk.
It's not very nutritious.
No, it's not.
Be honest. The only way you can stay very lean by doing that stuff is by exercising a lot.
You got it, and a lot of people don't realize is you got to get your proteins, your carbs, everything in. So if you just get your fats and your calories in, you're not gonna really do anything for yourself. You're not really gonna. I don't know. You probably know more than me, but I would say you're probably not gonna. See muscle progression. You're probably gonna see more so.
I think you can definitely because those foods, your body makes its own proteins. Yeah. Right? Just by intaking those nutrients, you're gonna. But by intaking that stuff, you're more prone to develop fat and stuff, and that's why people will exercise a lot when they're having a dirty bulk and they're like, oh, I'm getting so jacked in the weight room.
Yeah.
They're just intaking those calories, right? And also it depends on your metabolism. If your metabolism is great, you can definitely go on a dirty bulk and be successful. But then again, you have to take into consideration that you're eating a ton of sugars and fats, and your blood pressure's gonna jack up.
I'm not totally against the whole dirty bulking idea, but I kind of am. So it's like, for me, I try and consume as much as possible, but I limit sugars by like so much. I barely eat any sugar, and that goes with like cutting off soda, cutting off candy, cutting off cookies, cutting off anything that's like has a lot of sugar in it, because there's even some healthy foods with a good amount of sugar in it. So I really make sure to watch my sugar, and with that I've seen like progress in my skin. Like that's a big thing, is like acne for me. When I was eating a lot of sugar, I had a lot of acne, but I've cut back on my sugar by so much, and I mean, I still have acne, but it's definitely going away, and I definitely like that. But getting my fats, carbs, and proteins and my calories are the four most important things to me that have helped me see progress. And it's like, if I don't get one of those in, then it kind of just messes up the whole diet for the day. So I'm always making sure I got those in. And I was going to say this, was I don't really think a lot of people realize how, well, I know they realize it's beneficial, but like how good natural foods are. And I think a lot of people, I see them around all the time, especially at school. There's a lot of people who just eat like candy and Doritos and all this garbage for lunch and stuff. They don't really have a whole lot, like a whole food lunch, and the school is kind of just letting them do that. Like, we got an ice cream vending machine this year. I mean,
yeah, great addition, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean,
don't get me wrong, man. Yeah. I love my ice cream, right?
But it has to be in moderation, you know. It's I'll let you.
Yeah, but you know, Whole Foods are great, man. Like, if you ever go with Publix, right? If you ever go to, I know Texas got HEB. I don't know what other states got, but you know, your Whole Foods. Vastly important. You know, if you just cook stuff naturally, like for example, let's take like steak.
Yeah.
Right? If you eat a steak instead of eating like chicken from Popeyes, how much healthier are you?
Yeah, it's
a pretty substantial amount, right? If you cook your own steak, if you cook your own food, you're getting all these natural foods, right? Instead of buying all this stuff from, you know, fast food restaurants and things like that. And
you really know what you're getting too. Like, a lot of those fast food places, they put a lot of preservatives and all sorts of stuff in it. And as someone who's worked in the fast food industry, I can definitely confirm for you how bad that is for you, and how that food just like sits there and it for hours at a time, honestly.
And also, the tastiest food, I'll be honest, is just like the food you just make.
Exactly.
Like fresh foods.
Yeah.
That's the best tasting food you can have.
100%.
A damn, like, if you make your own pizza, that thing is going to be healthy and taste amazing. However, you go, unless you overburn that pizza. I've done that.
Yeah.
But if you go to a place like freaking Pizza, like, I don't find Pizza Hut appealing.
Super anymore. Greasy.
It's super greasy, right? And in our school, we have Marco's Pizza. Oh my gosh.
The sauce is so trashy.
That is the worst pizza in existence, man. That thing be greasing up. You be licking your fingers like, I don't know what.
And these kids love it too. They love it.
And that's one thing I found fascinating, right? I haven't really researched this all that much, but from talking to you, from my own experience, I realized as soon as I start like dieting better, right, I start getting more of a palate, right? My body is more attuned to natural food.
I can confirm,
right?
yeah.
I don't find, like, of course, you know this, right? I like eating desserts, right? Like, I probably eat like one dessert a day, right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes on the weekends, if I'm out with friends, things like that, I try to go to restaurants that are not fast food restaurants. I have probably not eating fast food in like 2 months. But I go to restaurants that are, you know, moderately healthy, right? I go to nice steakout restaurants. Some people can't afford that stuff, unfortunately. But if you can, you know, definitely go for that stuff. It's a blast.
Yeah,
right?
go
ordering things from menu and eating good, healthy foods.
And you can see the calories too. And it's just like what you like, you know. I mean, obviously my parents take me out. I'm sorry, I kind of interrupted you, but I got to get into this point because my parents take me out a lot. out to dinner pretty often, so I'm always like going down the menu like 3, 4, 5 times, just trying to figure out what's the best for me, because there's so much good stuff on there. Like most of the time I'll get a steak now, and the steaks are huge, and I'll ask my dad. I always ask my dad before I buy it, but I try and take advantage of it because it's free calories. It's literally your parents are paying for a nice dinner for you. Go out and take advantage of that.
It's not even that. Like, you can pay for that stuff yourself, and you can have a good time with friends, and enjoy good and adventurous foods, right?
Yeah.
Like, once you start dieting a little bit better, you're gonna find that you are gonna like the taste of new foods, right? You're
exactly.
Start ingesting some things that you've never tasted before.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna start liking those things which you're like, do I really want to eat that? Before, right? Like, I used to be a huge, and that's the reason I got as fat as I did freshman year, was because I was a huge, like, cookie eater, ice cream eater, right? I used to eat all that stuff. And I even remember this. The week before I started getting on this program, I ate, like, the whole scoop of, like, ice cream.
Oh,
yeah. The week before I started saying, okay, I gotta change this, that was kind of like my breaking moment right there. I had, like, this huge bowl of ice cream while watching TV during quarantine. And that was kind of the moment for me. I'm like, damn, what the hell am I doing?
That's the worst thing. Right? That's the worst scenario you are in, watching TV and eating ice cream. Literally the worst scenario I envisioned.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, right? Like, you can enjoy your stuff some days. I choose not to. Most of the time, right? Like, I stick to only eating 3 times a day. I don't eat outside of that. Like, I might taste a little something, but it's not a meal, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't eat more than 100 calories, like, unless it's those 3 meals, right? Which I eat way more than 100 calories.
Yeah.
But, those desserts are fine, right? Like, I think balance is, like, one thing everybody should strive for, and your balance is very different. Like, you have to take into consideration that all we've been talking about is going to be individual based.
Yeah.
You yourself have to, talk to your doctors, talk to your nutritionist, talk to even just people right? People that are a little bit better, but don't take their advice, like, completely for sure. Doctors, of course, you should probably listen to them more.
Yeah.
So, but also, if you're talking to somebody else who's not an expert in this particular what they do, you should, go on the internet, research more people, especially with influencers and stuff. You don't know what you're getting, right? You just have to try this stuff yourself. If somebody's selling something that's too good to be true, it probably is. Frankly, like, all their diet stuff and things like that, it probably is too good to be true, right? Like, you can't eat them, like, freaking, you know who V-Shred is?
I think I've heard of him, but...
Yeah, he's the dude that pops up on your YouTube sometimes with them ads saying, would you want to eat a salad or a pizza and look like me, right? You ain't eating a dang pizza for dinner and looking like that just right off the bat.
Exactly.
So you have to, do your own research, find out what works best for you, and also find out what makes you happiest, right? You have to find out what you actually take pleasure in, right? If you don't like eating a salad every day, don't eat a salad every day, right? You might try to, or maybe pair it with a different food, but salad isn't, your only main source of, like, healthiness, right? You can get tons of food, maybe get some more proteins in. Maybe you like your meats, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you like cooking those chickens, maybe you like doing that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So instead of that, you could go for your proteins more, maybe get some nutrition from nuts, things like that. I mean, you can find alternatives to it. I think vegetables obviously should be part of your diet, right? But if you don't like them that much, maybe put them in the pan, saute it, right? Find different ways to make things pleasurable. And that's kind of my thing, right? You have to find your balance. You have to find what works for you.
Yeah, what works for you.
And going on to the topic of working out, right? I don't know about you. I don't know what your exact journey was from this, but I can talk from my experience that my specific journey was I started excessively exercising, right? I excessively eat little. I work out 7 days a week, and I mean, yes, it worked. I went from 180 to 140 in a span of, 3-4 months. No, it was more 5.
It was 5. Probably because we left school in March, so we get out in May.
I started my thing probably in like April all the way to August. Yeah. It was like 5-6 months.
So I started right in March, like right after I figured out we were out for that quarantine. I was like, okay, I'm starting to work out because they were gonna give us gym equipment from the gym that my parents and I don't go there anymore, but my parents went to. and I was just gonna take full advantage of that. So I was kind of doing what you were doing, just working out excessively. And I wish I had the actual workouts that I would do, because I would be doing some crazy stuff that was way out of line. Never took a rest day. And
it was the same with me, man. 7 days a week, and I eat very little, right? It wasn't even necessarily good food. I just eat, like, very little. It wasn't even the food I'm eating now. Like, now I'm eating, like, amazing, man. I eat 3,000 calories
the fish.
I don't even care about it.
The mahi-mahi. The mahi-mahi.
I brought mahi last lunch at school, so, yeah, that's why he's talking about it. But,
sorry for the microwaves.
Yeah. We don't talk about that. But, yeah. You know, back then, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call it junk, but it wasn't the best food. It wasn't the most natural food. And frankly, I never take a cheat day, right? And always be working out excessively. Most of the workouts I had to do weren't even gym stuff, because we didn't have access to a gym. It was push-ups, sit-ups, and stuff.
Yeah, same here.
And I mean, frankly, that wasn't bad in itself. It just wasn't perfect. And why I say this is because I wouldn't take any rest days. I'd be working out when I'm sore, right? I'd be saying, okay, I have to do this. And yeah, in the span of 5-6 months, it worked. I dropped 40 pounds. I looked slimmer, but I didn't have as much muscle. And one thing is, when I started getting into football, that summer, right, we started going to workouts, I realized that my speed was not where it should be. Why? Because all I did was specifically train those push-ups, train those in-home workouts, and yeah, I'm burning calories, I'm doing all that stuff, but I am not training speed. I'm not training what I want to train. I'm not training my athleticism, right? And that's one thing for me. That's not for everybody. Like, most people can do, like, fine, you know, regular people that aren't athletes can do fine. You know, you can do your push-ups, do your sit-ups, go out for a jog in a day, but that's not what particularly works for me, because I am an athlete, right? I need my speed. I need my agility. I need to work on those things just as much as I work on my strength and just cardio. You know, I need that stuff. So what I do now, right? Only 3 days a week, like I said, in the weight room.
Interesting.
Right? Which, first day is leg day. Right?
Okay.
Second day is biceps, back, lats.
Oh, so you basically, like...
and traps.
Yeah, so you add it all together, kind of. You do more than... So I kind of split it more. I do 5 a week.
Yeah.
But I'll let you
it's
continue.
all kind of correlated. Like, legs, I just do legs all in one day just for commodity.
Yeah.
You know, you have your squats in there, you have other things in there, calf raises, whatever. I'm not going to say my specific workout program right now, because, like I said, you have to find what works for you. Obviously, squats work great for, like, a ton of people, right? Lunges, same exact thing. You know, but if you don't like a specific exercise, right, go find an alternative. That's what I would suggest. You know, but my second day, right, I do more so my back, my biceps. I kind of focus. I don't do a specific push-pull, but it kind of is a push-pull.
I got you.
I do deadlifts on that day. I do my shrugs on that day. And I do my curls on that day. And then on Friday is going to be kind of my push day, right? It's going to be chest, triceps, right? And then delts. So, with that being said... that's kind of what I do, but that's not everything I do, right? So I would say for me, like, I still look decently big, right? And that's just 3 days a week in the weight room. What do I do outside of that? Oh, I play sports.
So that definitely helps too.
I mean, it helps your cardio out, you're running, you're specifically training what you need to do. And the most important thing for me, I enjoy it. Right, like I'm in season for tennis right now, right? When I'm out of that season, I'm gonna, you know, spread out a bit more, train for tennis some days, train for soccer some days, train for other sports too. Other tennis and soccer are the only sports I play currently. You know.
Yeah, I mean.
But just what I have to say is I enjoy the crap out of doing that, and I'm actually getting something. Like, I'm getting somewhere doing that stuff. I enjoy it. I enjoy getting better in those sports, and it's a lot of work, right? And even with just sports, you're gonna gain muscle, right? It's not like you're gonna lose anything. You know, you're doing cardio, you're working on your specific stuff. You know, you're gonna look You're generally cut, right? And if you pair that with the weight room, if you pair that with going out and running some days, sprinting, things like that, things that are I work on specifically to get my best edge in all sports, in all my athleticism endeavors. You know, you're gonna find it. So that's kind of my key to looking good, being big, and having that balance between strong and agile.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. It's just more so that keeps me motivated would be like, or when I'm working out and stuff, and keeps me going, and like, cause like working out on its own can't really keep you active and stuff. So like you said, you play sports while you work out. Or you work out and you also play sports. You're also training for sports. You're also spreading things out. So that's really where I was freshman year. I wasn't really doing that. Sophomore year too, I wasn't really doing that.
I mean, to be fair to both of us, like it was a very hard time to do that stuff because you couldn't get out, you couldn't do anything.
Exactly.
But,
So yeah, my other thing would be sports, but for me, I'm not an athlete. I'm not like playing sports. For me, it'd be watching sports, like going to sporting events, and I mean, behind you see my collection of baseballs I've caught at baseball games. Like, it'd be that's all the ones I've caught at baseball games. I've caught like 24. So, that's definitely like kept me going too, like just having fun and enjoying my life. Because coming with a physical mindset also comes with a mental mindset. So if you just have like this mindset that you're going out to be like, I forgot.
I think what you're trying to say is you want to be your best self.
Yeah, and having just one of the mindsets and not having the others is really like not going to help you in the long run. And I think that's what, I mean, you said it, me and you both weren't doing was, I mean, I had my physical mindset, but was I mentally like strong? For me, I wasn't. For me, I was around like I was just busy, focused on people and focused on friends and stuff, friends that weren't actually my friends, and like I wasn't focused on other stuff. I'm focused on myself and doing what I love for me. And I know I told you I wouldn't mention this, but for me, doing what I love is obviously selling shoes. That's a big thing. Like, I love selling shoes. I love talking about shoes. I love bringing a culture about that. That's something I love to do, and it just keeps my mental mindset going. It's like something that makes me happy. And another thing would be getting closer to God. Obviously, that's been a big journey through this way, and that definitely makes me happy. Knowing I'm way closer to God than I was in like 8th or 9th grade, and that's definitely helped me. Like, He's kept me going and kept me moving. And another thing is, like I said, watching sports, going to sporting events, all that stuff, meeting players, all that stuff is just helping my mental mindset, keeping me stable, keeping me happy, And everyone's different, so everyone has a different program. Me and you both have extremely different programs. For me, I work out 5 days a week. I probably eat more, and that's actually normal because I'm not like the same like body type as you. For me, I'm skinny, or I was skinny. I still kind of am, but I'm getting up there. So for me, eating my recommended like 3,500 a day has got me from like 150.
No, it's not recommended.
Recommended for me though.
It's 25.
Yeah, well,
for regular people, but
not no regular person.
Huh?
Not a regular person.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's what you feel you need to do, if you're like, okay, I'm trying to bulk up, right? That's what you're trying to do. Okay, eat that 3,500. But if you start feeling sluggish, right? If you start feeling don't do so. But I'm gonna get back to all the stuff you talked about because I loved how you talked about that thing specifically about happiness and what that brings to you and things that bring purpose in life. But right now I just want to talk about kind of our different programs and stuff. And I just want to say that, like I said before, everything's going to be different, right?
Yeah.
People are different individuals, right?
Yeah.
And people are going to find things that they're better at than other people, right? And you just have to spend your energy where it matters most to you, right? And you're going to find when you spend your energy in things that you love doing, you're going to spend more energy. And that's the key to this, right?
Yeah.
The more energy you spend, the more
you...
calories you burn.
Yeah, I totally was kind of stumped on that. But yeah, I definitely like feel like the energy thing is huge. I mean, I didn't have a lot of energy. And I keep going a while back, but I think that's really big because I didn't have a lot of energy over a year ago. So I mean, my happiness, I thought I was happy, but I really wasn't happy. And I really didn't know what happiness was. And now I really do. Now I know what's best for myself, and I just keep doing that. And you keep doing the same thing. It's like, it's just doing what's best for you, doing what makes you feel good. And when you feel good, I mean, you look good, you probably,
good.
Yeah, you play good. Your social skills are way better because you feel more confident. And that's what I lacked was my confidence. And I should have more confidence. And I think I've expanded that, like, whole confidence thing is huge.
Sure, man.
Yeah. Because you just don't let people tell you what's best for you, and so.
Yeah. And, going back to kind of what I do, right, 3 days a week in the gym, people might be saying, oh, come on, this guy doesn't work out, right? Because, first of all, those 3 days, since I'm in season right now for sport, I'm playing tennis right now.
Yeah.
I am not going to spend as much time in the weight room. I'm still doing my lifts. I'm doing what I can.
Yeah.
And, but it's only going to be like 45 minutes for those 3 days, which people are like, oh, dang. Man, that's not a lot of time, right? How is he getting any gains? And it's because outside of those 3 days, what am I doing every single day? I play sports 6 days a week. Right, I train for 4 days a week on the sports I'm trying to play, right, and I play for probably 2 or 1 day a week, right, but Sundays is like my only rest day, and still I might go out there and just like play recreational sports. Like I might play tennis with my dad, play tennis with some other people, play anything I want to, but just have a game. Don't specifically train for something. That's gonna be like my Sunday is basically the rest day, ultimate day.
And I don't know if you want to actually get into your whole recreational sports thing, because I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean we could get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Just focus on what we're on, but what I did want to talk about was just doing that stuff. I spend so much energy doing all those things, and it's not even that. What else do I love doing? Oh, well, I love studying, right? For my future is in science, right? That's what I really want to do, right? Like all this stuff's me playing sports, being an athlete, working out. It's like a hobby to me, right? It's not gonna be my career, right? Like all this stuff is gonna always be a part of my life, right? But what's my purpose in life is going to be my studies, right? And what I specifically want to do is become a neurosurgeon, right? Yeah. And I love science, right? Especially biological science, and that's why I talk about it so much right now in regards to fitness, and also about like things with the mind, right? But what else do I spend time doing, right? When I study, right, you have to realize that your brain uses fat as its main energy source, right? Yeah. So that doesn't mean eat a ton. I learned that a while
ago. Well, I was actually an obesity buff, so I would study this stuff religiously in like 3rd and 4th grade when they had the McDonald's pink goo rumor come out. I was religious about obesity. Super Size Me nonstop watching that. So I definitely know what you're talking about. The whole fat going to the brain and stuff. That is.
It's not because your brain is fat. It's just that fat is like long-term energy, right? It's gonna keep your brain running smooth. With that in mind, right? Your brain uses a ton of energy. Now, necessarily, its complete impacts on the body, I haven't completely studied this stuff, but there's probably zero correlation to me studying to me, like, keeping my body shape, right? Most of that stuff is coming from workouts. Most of that stuff is coming from sports. But you have to realize that I am dedicating my time to this. I'm using my energy, and how I'm able to do that is through having a good diet, right? Yeah. The physical affects the mental, right? When I work out, I get more energy, right? Even though I'm wasting energy, I'm getting more. I'm having, hormones come through my body, right? I'm getting dopamine in there, some epinephrine, right? Adrenaline. And my brain is like activated at this point, right?
Love adrenaline.
Yeah. Don't inject EpiPens.
Adrenaline rushes are awesome. I'm just gonna say that adrenaline rushes are the best thing.
But like, when working out, right?
Yeah.
When doing my exercise, when doing what I love.
Yeah.
Even if that thing isn't particularly like exercise, you know you're doing activity, right? Whether it is watching sport games, you get your adrenaline in, right? When you have your brain activated like that, you are able to be more productive, right? And that's where the balance comes in. You need a little bit of leisure to get you to be productive and put most of your effort into your work, right? So you're gonna need that leisure. You're gonna need that balance in your life where it's like, okay, I need something to get me going, and now, okay, I can put all that stuff into what truly is my purpose.
Yeah.
Which for me right now is studying. I need to get to college, right? I'm studying hours on the SAT, ACT, right? To get my scores up a little bit. My scores are fine. 1310 for the SAT is what I currently took. ACT results should be coming any day now, so I hope that went well.
Yeah.
But
you are so different on that, because I would be stoked if I got a 1310, and that's just because I'm probably going to a smaller college, and I'm just trying to get like my degree and get out, just get a job. But
and here's one thing I'll say: when you have a talent in something, you should always strive. You shouldn't be complacent, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, my talent is more so in this stuff. I was never the best football player, right? So like, of course, I'm strong, right? But am I ever going to be strongest? No. I know where my limits are. I'm going to be the best version of myself as an athlete, right? But I'm never going to be the best athlete.
And I think
I'm a dang good athlete, but I'm never going to be a pro.
There's a lot of kids who don't realize that they are not the best athletes on the field, especially people who.
I swear, if you started name dropping right now.
No, I'm not name dropping, but you know who we're going off of.
I know exactly. I know exactly.
That the entire team from Big Shots 0-8, entire team thinks they're like D1 athletes. It was the same thing for when I was playing basketball, recreational basketball in like 6th grade.
Everybody thinks they're AI.
Yeah, everyone thinks they're like AAU, and I'm like, dude, just let me play some basketball. They bench me, like, because I just want to go out there and shoot the basketball. Same thing with baseball. Everyone thinks they're, like, D1 talent. Like, they're going to go to the MLB. Like, dude, you know how many people actually go and play professional sports?
Small percent.
Same thing with college, too.
Small percent. And don't get me wrong here. There's a fine line. Like, you should definitely play high school sports if that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
For sure. But don't get carried away thinking, okay, this is my only shot, right?
Yeah.
For example, I hear, like, people like Shaq, Charles Barkley talking about this. This is an old topic that you shouldn't be, like, looking to be a basketball player, right? You shouldn't be looking to be like them.
It's not it's not, like, realistic.
Yeah, and there are much better things that you can do with your life that are gonna, like, if you spend your entire life saying, okay, I'm gonna be an athlete, I don't study at all, right? If you don't become an athlete, what are you gonna become? Nothing.
And that's, what's your plan? You don't, you put all your focus into it.
It's not even that, right?
Yeah.
Like, some of the best people in the world are good at many things, right?
Yeah.
That's what I want to be, right? I want to be a dang good athlete. I'm never going to be a great athlete, right? But I'm going to be good, above average, right?
Yeah.
But in my specific area, I'm going to be elite at that, right?
Yeah.
And that's studying, right? That's going to be my science. This is going to be my medicine, right? I'm going to be elite at that, right? But I'm also not going to say, okay, that's the only thing I'm going to focus on, right?
Yeah.
No. Because, frankly, I need other things, right? Exercise is going to help with that. Working out is going to help with
exactly.
that, right? It's going to help with me getting an edge to be the best of myself, right? It's going to give me more motivation, more self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing. Like, let's take a guy like, Steph Curry, right? He's a smart guy, right? But what do we have going for most basketball players, right? A ton of basketball players, I'm not going to say LeBron James.
Yeah.
Or maybe LeBron James.
LeMickey James.
I'm not going to go into specifics here, right? Because that's not what the topic of this podcast is.
Yeah.
But some people just are not good at everything.
Everyone thinks they're Steph Curry. That's the thing.
I mean, it's not even anything. Steph Curry is great, right? But you're going to see with the best athletes in the world, let's take Michael Jordan, let's take, I don't know, Messi. Some people are going to say Ronaldo, but I'll say Messi. Take a guy like Canelo right now, right? Best boxer.
Yeah. I don't watch a lot of boxing, so.
Yeah. Take a guy like Roger Federer. These guys are good at what they do because of their mind, it's not just about their talents, right? Like, some people might say LeBron is a way better player than Michael Jordan, right?
Yeah.
Some people might say, who's a good quarterback? You know, a very talented quarterback. But let's say Mike Vick.
Sam Darnold. The great.
Okay, no, we're being honest about this. Let's say Mike Vick, right? Why could Mike Vick, who's a much better athlete, not be freaking Brady?
Well,
there's one thing that sets him apart.
That he was good on the field, but off the field.
Yeah, and
he was running.
Let's say we have a super talented guy. Like, this is no offense to Brady.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the most talented thrower out there. He doesn't have the best arm.
No, but he's driving his motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's his mindset. Why is MJ better than LeBron? LeBron, by all means, better passer. Some might say better scorer, right? He's got the stats.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the stats over Jordan besides points.
Yeah.
Jordan's got more points, but besides that, LeBron seems like the more well-rounded player.
Mm-hmm.
What set them apart?
I feel like LeBron...
he doesn't have the drive.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the championships. He doesn't... Literally, like, you will hear stories about MJ, right? You know, everyone's watched that documentary by now. The dude was a...
I still gotta watch. I still gotta finish that. I have not finished The Last Dance.
But, you know, the work ethic of that guy is incredible, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. And that's what happens to the greats. That's what sets them apart.
That's what makes them one of a kind.
Exactly.
And
most people can't be one of a kind.
And everyone tries to be one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like...
And the truth is, everybody can be one of a kind, but not the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's got different talents. You can't just grow up saying, okay, I'm going to be a basketball player just because I'm tall. Right? Maybe that's not what you're made to do. You have to find your purpose.
And that's what I noticed was, like, even with college basketball players, and I'll go off the Ohio State basketball team when they lost to Oral Roberts the year before, these guys were pulling up from, like, 3-point range every single time thinking they're Curry. It was this one guy, and I forget his name, but every time this guy would pull up from 3, down by 2, or I think they were down by, like... Yeah, they were down by, like, 2. Guy pulls up from 3-pointer. And he's got a guy who's open in the paint, his center, who can literally pass it to for a layup. But that's what, like, separates Curry from that guy. It's because Curry
doesn't shoot threes all game.
Yeah, Curry's not going to shoot threes all game. He's going to see that opportunity. He's going to take advantage of that because he's a team basketball player. He's not a guy who's just pulling up from threes for the fandom and all that. And this guy missed so many threes.
And also, you have to take in mind, like, there are many kids out there like, oh yeah, I'm Curry. I'm just shooting threes all day. What does Curry do that makes him shoot threes all day?
He's more than just 3-pointers, and no one realizes that. It's like, or the little realize that he's actually more than just a 3-point bucket. He's an actual family man. He's a team player. He's got so much more than just 3-pointers.
Yeah, and it's not even that. Why is his elite status put on a 3-pointer? Why? Because he works at. He has a talent.
He's been focused. He's been focused on that since he was like 9.
Exactly.
He's been doing that.
He's got a talent.
It's the work ethic.
God. To shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
And make it in from 3-point.
Exactly.
Right? Not everybody's got that talent. Not everybody can do that. And frankly, the idea that everybody is unique in their own special ways, everybody's got their own purpose, is absolutely amazing, right? Yeah. It tells you everybody can make it in life. Now, of course, not everybody's going to be equal, right? There's still going to be people that are going to earn more money. There's still going to be people that are better at other things than people, but everybody has the same... well, actually, I'm not going to say everyone has the same opportunity to succeed, but everybody is able to succeed. Everybody has something that they are able to do.
Yeah.
Of course, there are situations where that doesn't happen, but... misfortune and things like that. All right.
Dad. I just make sure it doesn't. Alright, sure.
Alright.
I was just gonna cut that out. Whatever.
Alright. Well, what should we get to now?
Huh?
Should I continue?
Because we kind of went off par with that whole thing because I was just making sure. Oh wait, I'm talking into the mic.
Yeah.
I was making sure that like my dad wouldn't come up here and start knocking on the door. So trying to make sure that didn't happen. We were talking about Curry though.
Yeah.
Last night before I lost focus.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
He's got it, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the drive.
Mm-hmm.
He's got what it takes, man. And the beauty of it is that everybody's got something. Right?
Yeah.
Everybody can be successful at something.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody does it.
Yeah.
You know? But everybody's got a little ability in them, right?
Yeah.
Everybody can be something, and you just have to find that thing that you're gonna be best at, right? And fitness,
Mm-hmm.
right, is a way that you can achieve it. It's a piece of the puzzle,
Yeah.
right? Fitness is gonna get you a healthy lifestyle. It's gonna let you live longer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's gonna let you
100%.
feel mentally better. Your brain
Yeah.
is gonna work better if
Yeah.
you're fit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're gonna have more energy, and you're gonna
Yeah.
have all these things, all
Yeah.
these benefits that are gonna help you towards what your purpose is. And I think that's the most important thing
Yeah.
this can give you: the ability to live longer.
Everyone has their own purpose. Everyone has like a different purpose in life, and whether maybe it's just like there's a lot of people, like I think about it as a lot of people do the same thing, but everyone has a different purpose for it. You know,
Yeah.
there's different purposes for everybody. Everyone's their own person.
It's kind of like this
Like,
niche thing, right?
yeah.
In college, you have a niche, right?
Yeah.
An organism's role.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody's got their different role, even in the same job.
Yeah.
Let's take the shoe business for example, right?
Yeah.
Although I hate your reselling business.
I know.
I'm joking, man.
I'm really sorry. We differ on the views right there for that.
Yeah, but when it comes to making shoes, right? You got a guy that is apt at making the frame of the shoe, right? The
Yeah.
template. You have a guy that can stitch very well, right? You have
Yeah.
a guy that can finish the product, right?
Yeah.
You have a guy that can paint, right? You have all these things which come to making a shoe, and all these guys love doing the same thing, right? Well, maybe if they work in a factory, maybe not all of them love it, but the best of the best are gonna be good at what they do, and they're gonna love what they do.
I would take it as the people who actually like prototype the shoes though.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen
Those
some
guys that create the shoes, the guys that start off the designs for the shoes.
I actually saw this kid on Instagram the other day, and this kid literally like designs just designs like shoes like online, like graphics and stuff for new shoes. He does some crazy insane stuff, and that's like a gift right there.
Mm-hmm.
His gift is picking out new styles, making new styles, making new things for people, making exclusive things for people. Even though he's not making the shoe, he's prototyping the shoe. So having that is just, or seeing that is just like incredible, because he's using the gift he was given, and that gift is so unique because God literally gives us each our own unique gift. I would say for me personally, it would probably be talking. I like talking a lot. I know it sounds like small, but you can do a lot with talking. Like a podcast. You can do that. You know that. I feel like that could be part of my gift, and I'm just trying to live out my gift because honestly, I don't know when I'm gonna die. I could die tomorrow, so knowing that I lived out the gift before I die is the most incredible thing I can do.
Yeah, fitness is great. Right?
Yeah.
But purpose is even better, and you have to find the things that are gonna make you fulfill your purpose.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to take advantage of what they're good at.
Yeah.
Right? And also, what you're good at, like let's say, guy's good at. Let's go back to basketball example, right? Guy's great at basketball, but he hates basketball. Should he play basketball? No.
No, because it's not his. He knows it's not his gift.
Your true purpose has to be what you are great at, what you can continue to be great at, so what you have the best potential in, and what you love doing. See, many people, and honestly, this is always going to be reality. There's going to be people who are stuck in jobs that they hate, right?
Yeah.
This is reality of life. Life is not fair. Not everybody's going to live out this dream, right? Many people that are going to watch this video are not going to live out their dream, and that's an unfortunate reality, right? But the truth is, there are going to be some people, there are going to be outliers out there.
There's going to be like the 1% that actually do listen to this, and they're going to realize like, oh yeah, this information that they're giving me is like legit, credible, and I should run with it. That's how I see it. And if I only reach out to like 3 people from this that actually take something out of this, that means way more than me than, not doing this and not, helping the potential of other people. I don't care if someone listens and doesn't do it, but I know there are people who actually want to strive for that greatness that I mention a lot, and do something and and bring out their gift into the world to the best of their abilities. So just by using your gift, you can really do anything.
Yeah, and that's another aspect, right? Is the social aspect, right? We people are not made to be alone. We're, of course you can be successful by yourself, but like I said, there are many pieces of that puzzle. One of the pieces of that puzzle is fitness, right? What I'm gonna say for fitness is that you yourself have to, first of all, get up out your chair, right, and start doing things, right? Start finding what you're good at. Start putting your energy and spending your energy. It's like an investment, right? Where should you spend your money? Into something that's going to be an investment, right? So where should you spend your energy? Into something you love doing. Exactly. Like Johnny spends his money on shoes, so you can resell them. Exactly. And an investment on that. Yeah. Right? So just like that, you should spend your energy where you love it. And not only are you going to get a fitness return from that, but you are also going to get a mental return on that. Your brain is going to work faster, and through that, you're going to be able to be productive in what you want to do. Another piece of that puzzle is, social. Yeah. Right? That's another thing, right? You have to be able to work with others in order to be successful. You have to take advice from others. You have to use others, not in terms of like manipulate others, but you have to, be friends with other people and take people's advice, and you have to have help in order to be the best of yourself, right? You need good, strong people that are going to help you out, right? Going to fitness, this does definitely help your fitness, as Johnny explained my influence on him, and seeing Johnny succeed is a really, really good thing for me. Right? Seeing him get stronger every day, seeing him hit his goals is really amazing to see, right? And I try to help him along the way where I can. And
there's some things that I do disagree with, but a lot of stuff I agree with, and the stuff that I do agree with, I take that and run with it. And that goes. There's so many other people who are like influences too, and it's a few actually, I would say, not, but there are a bunch of other people that are actually like influences on me, and there's some stuff that I will disagree with, and there's some stuff that I will agree with.
You're never going to 100% agree with someone.
Exactly.
Right? That's not how the world should work, because everybody should bring something different. Right? The best relationships I have with people are with people that are like complete opposites towards me. Like, of course we have things similar, right? But where we disagree, they bring something to the table that I don't have, and that's the best part. People that compliment me are the best.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, if you have something that I'm missing, that is valuable to me, super valuable. Okay. Like, if you got that missing piece, I am missing that piece. So when I know a person that's like that, right, and that gives you something, and you can give that person something they're missing, it is an amazing, amazing relationship. And that's things we can find in the world, right? Friends, intimate relationships, close family, boyfriend, girlfriend, fathers, grandparents, teachers, mentors, right? Coaches. All of these people are going to help you, and you have to find out, what their true intentions are. First of all, you have to make sure that these are great people. And you have to make sure that these are really the people that are going to help you out, right? Talk to these people, right? You have to get a true understanding of somebody in order to, I don't know how I'm going to say this, but you have to understand somebody is what I'm trying to say. And you have to truly know what you're getting from that person. You have to value that person, and just make sure that what you're getting isn't fake.
And I definitely agree with that. And I said that on the other podcast, but I'm actually going to cut out the first part of it and post it. So I'm going to just have a second part of like sneakers for the week for that first podcast or second podcast with AJ. But anyways, what I did say,
AJ, yes, sir.
yes, sir. Shout out to AJ. What I did say on that podcast with him was you should keep the people who actually check up on you, who actually want you to succeed around the most, because so many people fall into this trap of like, oh, I'm getting like a lot more friends, like I can just ditch the ones that, you know, matter to me the most, that don't really matter anymore. And then when you do that, those people who you befriend, you lose that popularity so easily, you lose those friends so easily. It's one wrong move or one wrong fight, and they don't want anything to do with you anymore, and they just want everything against you. And I've learned that. You know, I've been through that.
You know, sometimes the smallest things in the world are going to make the biggest difference, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, in fitness, right? The smallest little thing you can do, right, is going to make a substantial difference. If you just cut 5 calories, over the long run of a year, you're going to lose, I don't know, 10 pounds. Just by cutting a small
that could be
amount of
big
calories,
for someone, though.
Right? Well, 5 calories was a big exaggeration, but, you know, more like 100 calories.
Yeah.
Just cut 100 calories out a day, boom, you're going to lose 10 pounds in, I don't know, 3 months, maybe a year. And that's a big, big difference for some people, right? And if you even compound that even more, make it 500 calories, even bigger difference.
I wish people would actually see that, though. Like that crazy, like the small weight loss, like 10 pounds. Mm-hmm. Let's say like a person's 300 pounds, lose 10. Okay, and then they're looking at the scale. Oh, wow, I actually lost 10. Keep going. Keep cutting calories a little bit more, maybe. Maybe do 200. Next thing you know, down 10 pounds quicker. It's like, and they're working out, and they're looking fit, and it's like, okay, I'm seeing progress. Like, just keep keep doing it, and just keep going. Like, it's that mentality of just seeing those small little hints of progress and just keep going.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, if you're in school and you're learning a lot, for me, frankly, it's amazing to see how everything correlates to each other.
Yeah.
And it's why I like having all these things, right? Mm-hmm. Fitness is a part of the puzzle, right? But you also need something else that's going to complement fitness as well. And that's all going to bring you towards your purpose, right? There are many things in the world that correlate towards it. There are many examples. Like, for example, I brought up a bunch of biology examples. Yeah. I learned in a biology class. Shout out to Ms. Shecker. And all of these things are going to correlate. And one of those things is, for example, in finance, in economics, you have compound interest.
Yeah.
And in your life, you can have a certain amount of compound interest, right? Like I said, those small changes, over the long run, those small changes are going to add up more and more and more and more and more, right? Like compound interest. The more you multiply that number, the bigger it gets over the long run. You keep doing that, and you earn a ton of money by the end of like 40 years. Yeah. Right? It goes from like as little as like 5,000 each month to about 40 million in some situations. But those small changes can really add up. And when you have something you can control even better than compound interest, it can be even better, because let's say with money, right? If you're investing into a stock, you don't exactly know how much you're investing, how much your return is going to be on that investment. But when you're investing in something like calories, right? If you're saying, okay, I want to cut this, or I want to spend more energy on something else, or I want to do this other thing, even if it's just, let's say, 1 hour of your day, you can actually control that 1 hour. You can control what you do in that 1 hour, you know? You can lose as much calories as you want in just that 1 hour. You can control that. And as soon as you say, okay, I've gotten a lot out of this, let me increase it even more because I enjoy doing this, you increase it to 2 hours. Your return is going to double on that. And the fact is, you can control it. You know exactly what you're getting every single time you step into the weight room. You know exactly what you're doing. You're not wasting any time. And you know what that return is going to be, and it's going to be a big, big, big return in the long run.
Yeah. So I'm going to sum it up here. I'm going to end it, right? Small change.
And just so y'all know, me and Johnny had a little challenge going into this. He likes to cuss, I don't.
It's energy. It brings. And Gary Vee said it, and he hates Gary Vee.
No, but we're not talking about.
But
Gary
I love Gary Vee.
I hate Gary.
But Gary Vee says it the best. It's not like I'm saying it to hurt anybody. I'm saying it because it's like just with my energy.
But anyways, if you hear Johnny cussing through in this and he bleeps it out,
I did.
Johnny, we had a little challenge on this. It's been a great podcast.
Of course, yeah.
And you know, I enjoyed this, man. So I'm gonna let you wrap it up now.
Yeah. So, thank you, Alex, for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm gonna try and re-release the podcast with AJ today or tomorrow. So I'm gonna try and I'm gonna cut that down because I didn't like the first part of how it went. I was eating the mic a lot and I was not happy with the static and stuff. And then this podcast, I'm going to edit it because I have to take out a couple things, like when my dad was calling me to go eat some breakfast tacos and he didn't realize I was in the middle of a podcast, or when I cussed twice. I counted it twice in the podcast, and I wouldn't even count that.
Not that much for a Johnny video, man.
Yeah.
It was like 15 dang times, man.
Yeah.
And all it's got to do with is just whose energy you're feeding off of.
Yeah, and when I'm energetic and when I'm in the zone, I'm just saying, you know, it's nothing directed at anybody. It's just like, just do it. But you want me to like shout out your Instagram or something?
I mean, I guess you can.
Yeah. So I gotta pull it up because I forgot how it goes. But I'm gonna check out Alex on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's ARINCON_5100. Check him out on Instagram because he's gonna be doing some things. I know I'm not gonna
don't spoil my
not gonna spoil anything, but he's got some cool things coming out that I would definitely like you guys to go check out, especially my small viewership right now. Hopefully getting bigger. We will get bigger for sure. I am gonna try and release 2 of these. I might actually do yours early.
Yeah, I mean
because I really liked how this went today. Besides the helicopter from, we're right next to a helicopter base, whatever, and my dad asking me to go eat breakfast tacos. But thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you, Alex, for being on here today. I appreciate it. I had a great conversation.
Man. I'm coming right back.
For sure. We'll bring you back.